7 o'clock.
See there, it's still
Right at the last.
County Executive Pastor, will you lead prayer?
Let's pray. Most kind, gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you once again, Lord, thanking you for all the many blessings of life. God, we just ask that you be with each and every one of these commissioners as they get ready to take on the business at hand. God, we pray that you'll just continue to bless our nation and our country, Lord. Most of all, our little county in which we are all elected to serve. God, there's only one way I'd come to you. That's in your Son, Jesus Christ's most precious name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Keith Parker.
Here.
Shane Bowman. Greg Brooks.
Here.
Danny Carver.
Here.
Debbie Davis.
Here.
Mush Davis.
Here.
Martin. Here. Kelly Morgan. Here. John Kipinger.
Here.
Samantha Trent. Here.
Approval of minutes of previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Chrissy Harden.
Yes.
Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes.
Approval of reports of office.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Chrissy Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes.
Okay, approval of notaries. We got two, Heather Sanders and Eric Brooks.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Chrissy Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan. John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes.
Budget amendments, we have one in 101, amendment number 6, for a total of $3,300, and that's to allocate funds from reserved amount to purchase 2 scanners, software, and installation.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Chrissy Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan. Yes. John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes.
Budget amendments for Polk County Schools, there are none. Ducktown Courthouse from September meeting. This is just for information, just an update. The IED board did agree to sell the Ducktown Courthouse, the old Ducktown Courthouse for us at no cost to the county. Provision that we pay all the costs as far as the survey, appraisal, legal fees, and that we make the final approval on the sale. And I think the survey is complete for us, from what I've heard.
We did get the deal.
Okay. So that's where we're at on that. Still have to have some other work done. Okay. Capital projects. Commissioner Pickens.
Oh, that's from last month's meeting, that deputy control car. Y'all still have the resolution on that. The request is to go up on the capital now that was left over, if they were allowed to carry over from the interviews. I'll leave that to the treasurer. Everybody should have time to talk to the sheriff. Any questions on it?
I asked for some costs, and he gave us some for the price of the cars and equipment. And I asked for an itemized for itemized cost on equipment. We did get a cost, but not itemized. And I also requested, to see what the fund earned in the fiscal year, and it fluctuates from month to month, but last fiscal year earned $124,000. So I was gonna make a suggestion of $120,000 because that would cover the cost of 2 cars equipped, and that's about what the fund earned in the fiscal year. But like John said, that's the commission.
It deals with the cap, any changes that need to be made, make it as part of the motion, if you have a motion on it. I presume that, I think, what was mine?
150. Well, I'll make a motion that we raise that cap to $120,000.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Will this be in a resolution, or will this be that same resolution?
Yes, it would just be a change in the amount.
Amended to 125.
I guess we need to read the resolution.
Yeah.
We already have class.
I'll read.
He's got it. I got it.
Can you give me the number, what resolution number?
It would be 10-1 at this point, right?
Yes. Yes.
Resolution of the governing body of Polk County, Tennessee to, whereas the county of Polk wishes to make changes to the county patrol car capital project fund resolution number 10-1, 2024. Whereas due to increased cost of patrol units, the original amount included in the resolution is not enough to maintain its intended purpose, and whereas Section 4 currently reads, the CPF shall have a set limit not to exceed $70,000 as of June 30th of each year, with any overage being transferred for normal county operational expenditures. Now therefore be it resolved by a vote of the Board of County Commissioners of Polk County meeting in irregular.
That'll be regular session.
Could be regular session. On the 20th, and the date should be changed to the 17th, right?
Yeah.
17th day of October 2024. That section 4 is amended to read as follows. Section 4, the CPF shall have a set limit not to exceed $120,000 as of June 30th each year, with any overage being transferred for normal county operational expenditures. This resolution shall become effective on passage of public welfare requirement. I think we already had a motion in second. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan. Yes. John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes.
Ms. Rogers, I will send you a brief version of that. I already have it.
Okay.
Red Cross presentation. Commissioner Cook.
I put that on there, requested by the Red Cross, or we have somebody here to present it.
Hi, my name is Gail Lawhorn, and I'm a volunteer with the American Red Cross and a resident of Polk County. We asked John Kippinger to give us some time on your agenda so that I could share with you what we do here in Polk County, and let you know that we have just under 12 volunteers. Many of us are involved in what we call an disaster action team. The disaster action teams respond to house fires, accidents, tornadoes, floods, just about any type of natural disaster in which someone has lost their home. At this time, we have 4 supervisors here in the county. 2 of them, Tim Claren and his wife Donna Claren, myself, and Pete Farr. In addition to our disaster action team, we also have blood drives. We do 2 blood drives a year over at the Methodist Church in conjunction with Polk County High School blood drives. So that gives us a total of approximately 4 in the county per month. In addition to our disaster action team, we do home fire safety campaigns and our smoke detector installations. We have one other hat that we wear, and that's our disaster assessment, which if there's a tornado, we would come out and assess the damage. And we've been trained by FEMA to make sure that our assessment is in line with what they would expect us to do. But we're here tonight just to tell you that we're very active here in the county. We also have one of our members, not only Tim, Donna, and Nicole Rogers. Several of ours couldn't come this evening, but again, we are here. We're all residents of Polk County, and we're really proud to be here. Thank you so much for your time.
I'd like to just add that this is the start of our, what we call fire season. We're running a smoke detector installation program. We started it during the Polk County Fair. So if you know anybody that needs smoke detectors installed free of charge, they can contact the Red Cross or they can contact me. And we can get that set up. And it's, like I said, we come out and we talk to the families, explain to them how fire safety and how they need to have exit routes, meet-up routes. From the time your smoke alarm goes off, you have 2 minutes to get out of the house. And if it's a mobile home, it's less than that. So it's very important to get smoke detectors installed, and it's totally free of charge. Just want to let you know.
Thank you.
Surplus property community center, Commissioner Cook.
I'm gonna have to push that to next month.
Okay. TCRS documents resolution, county executive package.
You all received the email at first from Patrice, and then we were all off at different points in time. What this is to have a study performed. This got brought to our attention whenever one of our retirees and their spouse is a retiree from another county. But whenever they got the raise for the standard of living raise, our employee did not. And this goes back to whenever this was first established within the county. For whatever reason, it was not added into. So we just have to have this voted on, or a resolution, I think, is what Patrice sent back out. So we have it on file just to start the study or the survey to see what the actual cost is going to be. That's approximately $400 to have this study done, and then they'll bring back the cost of what it would cost for us to go over to this plant. It may or may not be so expensive the county cannot or does not even want to look at it, but the $400 is just to have that started.
So I think it's a good idea to look at, because it has been done so many years ago, way back when.
98.
A long time. Would it be beneficial to see if there's any more addendums or benefits that we could change that might be feasible?
And
Since we're doing a study already.
correct, and it's my understanding that that's what this will do. This will bring those back
Other
up
ones.
to us.
Okay.
Including health insurance and other things after.
Correct.
That's
There's a whole
what I
lot
was getting
more of
at,
things
yeah.
that are out there other than just this, but this is just to start that study.
Motion to approve.
I'm going to say I have a conflict of interest since I have TCRS, so I'm not going to vote. I'll pass.
I
So
have
do I.
insurance as well,
So do
but
I.
it's not through the county. So
Yeah, mine's through the county, so I'm not going to vote, so y'all. I was just telling you why I'm not voting.
I have the same conflict.
insurance too.
So y'all proceed.
No, not through the committee. I can say these would be because of the retired staff.
Right.
And then, yes, Kelly, whenever.
I'm still in TCRS, so I'm vested.
But
so
you come through, you're the TCRS from Polk, you still think you're the best.
I'm vested.
Okay, I got you.
My daughter's got it, but by the time she gets old enough to draw it, I won't be around, so I guess that's conflict. isn't it?
Well, that's not directly to you.
Okay.
Mine and Keith is
Well, my niece
directly
planning
to
on
our
taking her
pockets.
retirement.
So I think it's a good idea, though.
We've got a motion and a second, any more discussion? Roll call. Abstain.
Greg Brooks,
Yes.
Danny Carver,
Yes.
Debbie Davis,
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Chrissy Harden.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Philip Morgan. Samantha Trent. Yes.
Community center update, county executive package.
So So with the community center, they started the abatement process last week. This is where the building is contained and sealed for removal of asbestos. Part of the reason why it took a little longer is we had to apply for permits to the EPA. And whenever you deal with anything dealing with the EPA, sit back and hold on. So we got that all, and it is a work in process. The seniors do have a spot at the Old Kinsey College. I do not know at what cost yet. The colleges were nice enough to say that if it was going to fall back on the county, that they would cut a discount, but if insurance was going to cover it, but they've not contacted me back with that. But I told them that I did not think that would be a problem for the commission to approve if we need to, for our seniors to have someone be at the college. Everything else, though, seems to be running as smooth as possible. The health department has stated that they will be open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, working at the schedule that they're at. They do have a pod set up there on the parking lot. Early voting will be moved to the library, and early voting on the east side starts on Saturday. We also had the state of Tennessee come in the past week and remove both fuel tanks that were leaking down at the community center. So that was all done at no cost to the taxpayer. About all I have with the community center right now. It's a work in progress. And they did say that it was going to be a 90-day, and then after 90 days, we would go week to week, from month to month. Whenever I did talk to the colleges, I told them that we would be willing to do at least 4 months, so at least 120 days, and then they would allow us month to month after that, just so that we all know that our seniors have someone to do. It's my understanding that you all would want to move the commission meetings out there because there should still be room. It's about the same size as the community center. We probably just have to move some of the chairs and stuff around. But it shouldn't be a problem, and once we get everything set up, especially if the commissioners on the east side want to meet over there and kind of look at it and see before our next official time to start one, that should not be a problem. And I even asked the colleges if
We'll
that
try to meet there sometime. Community center grant update,
So, just signed the paperwork today. There was a $10,000 grant that was given to us for the community center, or the senior center. So the seniors will be getting that grant. But also let you know, we were denied on our show barn, the tourism enhancement grant. We were denied in that application. And that is a zero cost. So that's $10,000. Does not cost the county or the taxpayer.
Where did that come from?
From the state.
Sanitation side of the county.
Garner site has started the demolition process, I guess you could say. The open top that is there, we also set an extra open top on the outside, just in case we had a higher than normal. We have that all set up, so there's currently a 40-yard open top inside of the Garner site, the 30-yard that's sitting outside. We've already ran into one little bit of an issue. That was the size of the drainage tile that's going to be going in. The contractors recommended instead of the 12-inch that we go with the 6-inch. Even though the 6-inch is smaller, we'll be able to do a catch basin and have grading and everything put in. This is to catch the water that runs off from Underwood Road, comes down the hill. If you've never been to Farner, I encourage everybody to go. That's a drive. Danny can testify to that. He thought the first time I took him out through there, I was going to knock him off. Didn't know where we was going. But we just ask for your patience over the next 2 weeks, especially if you live in the Farner area. That site may close on and off for the purpose of moving equipment around and getting things tore out. But it's going to be graded down. It's going to look really nice once this is all complete. Also at the South Polk site, the tire trailer was installed out there roughly 2 weeks ago. Your tire dealers absolutely love it. There's approximately 600 tires on that trailer right now currently, which what that interprets to is we will now be shipping full loads, so we don't get charged and penalized whenever these tires are not laced and stacked properly. The Benton site is a lot the same. We do not have any tires currently on the ground, thrown out that cause an issue like we have seen in the past. So all those things that we've done so far are working great.
RFP for concrete, electrical, and compactor, South Polk dump site.
Going to be turning out those RFPs, just like with any and all of them. I like to announce them before we do that. This is going to be for the new concrete pad that will be at the South Polk site. Danny and I was down there not too long ago. We talked about having a sanitation committee meeting to see some of the things that we would like to propose to do. One of those as well is moving the box that is currently at the site closer to Old Federal Road. What this will mean is we'll have to connect it to the concrete, but the reason behind it is currently people try to pull up too wide. If we move it down 6 to 8 feet, it would increase the distance between the new box that's going to be going in and the old box that we're going to send off for refurbishing. That would allow 4 lanes of travel in and out of the South Polk site, where right now you currently have 2, and especially on Saturdays, it backs them back out into Old Federal Road, which is very dangerous. So, but those bids will be getting ready to go out. If Daniel wants to set that meeting down there in the next couple of days, I will hold off and wait till we get that done, because we'll also have to run power underground while this is being prepared, depending on which one of the bids that you approve for the automatic gate opener, as well as to go ahead and have the power ready to go whenever the box comes back refurbished, so it'll just be a matter of pushing them on.
Yeah, we could go down there, we could set a date, go down there and look, if they want to do its own meeting. Would it be okay if I got with y'all later on the date? I'll let y'all know.
Okay, bids for fence at South Polk sanitation site. And executive.
So there were 3 bids that were turned in for the South Polk sanitation site. In no particular order, Rocky Top Excavation, their bid was $39,340.21. King's Development Group, their bid was $20,000. Don Spence, they turned in 2 bids. We looked at this in 2 different ways. The committee talked about seeing as far as a high tensile purpose versus barbed wire. So Don Spence bid both of those specifications, not just one. Don Spence was $23,300 on one quote and $22,550 on the second quote.
The Kings bid, which wire did they bid?
They only bid the high tensile around the top. To my understanding, the way I read their bid, they did not do both ways. They did perform all 3 of these companies did perform an on-site evaluation. I was at the community center hauling 14 loads of trash on the day that both of these showed up, but the sanitation worker that was there did confirm that both of these were at the site. Don Spence met me there personally, and that's where we talked about putting this 18-foot swivel gate in. What that'll do is that'll help to allow a little more room for that 18-wheeler whenever they're bringing the tire truck in.
Swings to the inside.
Swings to the inside, yes it does. And it does, it does include the automatic gate opener. It will be on the entrance side. And just in case you're wondering why we're going to put an automatic gate opener, if you've ever been on Old Federal Road, especially this time of year, it's really foggy, and that site worker has to park in the road, hurry, open up, slide the gate, and try to get in without a void being hit. The sanitation committee thought that it would be best served just to have this remote gate opener, so that way once the worker got close, he would not have to exit his car, but it would work in such a way that he could then enter into the site. It's only one automatic gate, and that's the entrance gate. We did look to put it at the other end, but the reason why we didn't, you have to have a way to fasten it, and if that gate swings, it wouldn't be no good to put an automatic gate opener on it, and you're going to keep changing around to keep people out.
So did all three bidders comply with the RFP? Did everything was in the RFP?
They,
Price?
correct, they did bid, every one of them bid the quote A, but they did not bid the quote B. The only one that bid both was Dawn Tn.
They had that option to
Yes.
do one or the other. Like, why is, just looking at it, that flags me is, that's a $20,000 difference. That's a big difference. Did either, what's your thoughts? Do you think everybody, these other two,
We usually get.
got everything included, or did they leave something out? That would be my thing,
Dawn's
because neither
fancy,
one of them
probably.
has a contingency.
They're about the oldest one in the country. They get about every job. And as far as that, when it's much higher, seems like we get one of them every time. It's just
Oh, we
like
do.
crazy.
But I'm just
That's why I was asking if they.
asking the question, that was
Base RFP.
such a big difference. That I didn't see a contingency in either one of them if they left something out. That's just one of the things.
Well, this King's Development Group, they've got it in here for unseen obstacles. That opens up a door to me with a lot of,
Red
could be a
flags.
lot of
Uh-huh.
a lot of unseen obstacles that come into play. I don't know, how do y'all feel about that? I mean,
I had a question about that. We bid this out, but can they come back through our process and ask for more money on the disclaimer here?
Well, they have to include their
Yeah.
percentage
Yeah.
in that.
So they do the fluctuating material process.
Whatever we accept, they should.
Here in the King
like
chapter, it
10%
says price
section.
valid for 7 days. So,
and then it does not.
I've seen it done in the past,
From what I
them
know,
come back and get more money like in the past, but theirs says, that King says, this is valid for 7 days, fluctuating material pricing. They got a lot of stuff added to theirs.
And as Greg said earlier, Dawn's Fence is the one that's done a lot of our repairs. They're the ones that done the gate replacement at the Benton site. They even held their price until after the concrete was poured, just so we were able to make sure that they could get the gate to hit tight enough so somebody does not just walk into the site.
Right.
So,
Well, with theirs, like I say, I don't see any way myself, I mean, that they can come back and say this, that, this. I mean, they got it pretty much down here in black and white, and I would feel more secure with that
I guess
than
there's
the
one.
obstacle thing myself.
Option. A or B.
I know it's a little bit higher, but it's, I don't know, that scares me when unforeseen obstacles is written there.
so what's better, the barbed wire or the?
A is the one, so that site, before it was run through by 1,433 people, and over the years, that site had a 3-strand barbed wire, just like quote A. The quote B is it's just a high tensile. Now, does the barbed wire stop somebody from getting into it? No, somebody wants into it, they're gonna get into it. But the quote A puts a hard top rail on the top and the wire up. The quote B does not put the top strand hard high, it puts a high tensile. So it would take a chance of sagging. It would,
Which one's a 23,000?
Well, neither one of them's gonna cure the only problem we got. It ain't every problem somebody breaking into the dump. It's somebody standing on that side of the fence and throwing it over the top. And neither one of these is gonna prevent that from happening. So it's really not a big deal either way.
But the counties have had a problem using barbed wire fences in the last 10 years.
We do.
So Jerry, the kids who climb up there.
Oh, yeah.
Get cut off. They don't care if you have barbed wire fences up there. It's just take one dog. What when the city comes, you do the county ends up paying.
Well, I just saying either one of them's
I'd
fine.
rather have a barbed wire.
People in the stores, they don't break in the dump.
You remember
We'll
why
throw it over the top.
Remember why we got barbed wire fences around the jail? Same reason.
It's gonna at least hurt them.
Inmates started getting cut because they got cut off.
Yeah.
So people look away.
So what you're asking, Kelly,
I'm just asking you which one,
A or B?
A or B?
Yeah, A has a pipe,
has the top rail,
has a top rail.
and not the high tensile.
B just has like a cake.
So which one are you suggesting?
I suggest A. I mean, it will look better, it will be more durable,
Well, there's less than an $800 difference, so
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, it's just whatever, either one would work, if you don't say a few bucks.
Now, also, on this down here at the bottom with the Dawn's fence, the power supply needed for operator, that's included,
No.
correct, or no?
That goes back to part of the RFP
Okay.
that we will have to put underground.
Okay, so none of them has that included in it.
None of them have that.
We have to do
included.
that separately.
Yes, ma'am. And they
Gotcha.
were all aware of that because that was their question. Power will be run, once the power is ran, then that's whenever they would come back and install the gate.
Gotcha.
So I guess if you're asking my recommendation, it's kind of like 6 and 1/2 dozen, either would work. If we want to try and save, what, $750, we could go with the cable. If not, we'll go with the fiber. But I'm with Debbie on this other, all this fine print
Yeah,
stuff. It sounds like we could open up
with the door open.
The higher one does have barbed wire.
7 days.
Both of them have barbed wire. I shot with barbed wire and the barbed wire.
Well, I'll make a motion that we go with quote A with Dawn's fence.
Second.
Let me make sure I'm clear. B is barbed wire, not a friction.
A and B both, they all have that, it's just for the pipe on the line of the scheduled top rail. So the difference is that the top rail, right here, the top rail will only go on the front side, and 158 schedule 20 rail, that's the wire on the back side. Build on A, it goes all the way around, so it all looks uniform.
Any other discussion? Vote no.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden.
Yes.
Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes.
Bids for emergency medical services, executive package.
Yes, sir, those bids came in. I put them in a cheat sheet note, so if anybody would like to have these, if you will send an email, we'll be more than happy to send you the copies.
There's some right back there.
Do I have?
There's some right back there on that.
There's some back here, so if anybody wants something to read over for the next
Going back to
couple
my
days.
office.
But the broke down version, if you would, we had two potential bidders, two bidders that bid. The first package was AmeriPro, and in option one with AmeriPro, it was $2,149,160. In bid, or in option one with AMR, it was it was $2,887,490. And AmeriPro's option two, it is $1.9,039,488. AMR, $1,570,000. Option three with AmeriPro was
What's option 2 in AMR?
option two AMR. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that, John. Thank you. Thank you. 2 million, I'm sorry.
That's what you say, wait a minute, that's not the.
$2,470,000. I do apologize. Thank you for catching that. I was in my differences. Option three for AmeriPro, $1,902,816. AMR, $1,994,000. We currently spend $900,000 a year for the 3 ambulances that we have in the county. Option one and two are for the 4 ambulances. The differences were with the with a paramedic on every ambulance is the basic difference between option 1 and option 2. Option 3 did take into consideration of whenever we were in our executive session the other night, or last meeting, and whenever the CAD reports were produced and the volume of calls that came out, according not only to what we assumed, but to the facts that were done. And that's whenever the option would go down for the 8-hour time period between the hours of 10 and 6 p.m. But the increase between those options as well, at a minimum, are $1 million from what we currently pay. And that's going with the absolute cheapest.
On option 3, how many hours for the whole 2 hours?
It was specified for an 8-hour time period.
8 hours, only 2 hours, one on each end.
One on each end.
I think I understand this, and I'm gonna ask. Which option leaves 4 ambulances in the county 24/7? That's cheap.
Both option 1 and 2. The only difference is that was with, the option 2 does not have the paramedic on all the trucks.
So
There's a
the
paramedic.
huge difference is skill-wise and what you get for an AEMT versus a paramedic.
There will be one paramedic on the street.
There will be a paramedic. There will be one paramedic on the east, one paramedic on the west. Option 1 has 4 paramedics. 4 paramedics, yes, sir.
I don't know, I'm just throwing my thoughts out. Can't really afford any of it. So option 1 is obviously the best option. Looking at AmeriPro, since it's the cheaper of all options that we have in front of us, the difference between option 1 and option 2 is a couple $100,000, which I know is a big deal, but when you're looking at trying to find ways to
I've got that
to
at
cover
$5,000.
the money, then to me,
I
I'm
agree with
leaning
you.
toward option 1.
If it's gonna be 4 ambulances, and for just $200,000 more, we can get 4 paramedics at all times. I
Right.
think that's the best deal.
I mean, because you have to think, we've already got budgeted $900,000 because that's what we're used to paying. Our debt service payments come off this year, so we can move some of that money over. We're still gonna be short about $400,000, $300,000 to $400,000. So really, that's the difference we gotta make up to figure out how to fund.
So you making a motion?
I make a motion for Kelly.
Well, we gotta figure out some sort of, we gotta make some sort of game plan as how we plan on thinking about covering the $300,000 to $400,000 difference before we just jump in. We need a game plan of some sort.
It'd be 205,000, let's see.
There's a difference, it's like less than 400,000,
Yeah, it's like
3
Where'd it go
something.
from?
900,000 to,
What's she talking about this?
Between option 1 and option 2,
Right.
about $204,448,
Yeah.
I think, somewhere in that area.
Right, so I'm talking about if you move, where you've already got 900,000 accounted for.
Correct.
We don't want to deplete all of our pennies in the debt service because we do have one payment left. It's like a 44,000 payment going next year. And then we're done. But we also got a school coming up that we got to figure out how to fund. So you don't want to deplete that altogether because you want it to grow because we're going to have to fund the school. But if you move, I think I was playing around with the penny, like 18 now. I mean, you're still just only leaving a couple of pennies in there to grow. But you're still looking at roughly 900,000, so that's 1.8. So the difference between the 1.8 and the 2.149, whatever it is what we need to look at, trying to figure out how to close that gap.
And that would have to come from somewhere else.
We're gonna have to figure that part out, whether you're looking at messing with the sales tax or messing with the property tax.
well,
Say that real low.
The sales tax increase from
didn't
raises
hear
that
you,
we done
John.
last year.
I couldn't hear you.
The last raises we done pretty well eat up the anticipated growth from sales tax from Food City and
That-
others. I mean, you know, it pretty well
I
balanced.
know,
it.
that's why
So-
some of, yes, I ain't gonna get into that conversation, but we'll have to figure out, there is an option. That's an option. I didn't say it's a good option, because we can still look at having to do something like that.
But we could be looking at raising the property tax.
Well, yes.
That's, you're looking at a property tax, a wheel tax, or messing with the sales tax.
And I say that just to let everybody know that, this is the cost, and we don't have the money for it, so, gotta generate.
And that's why we did so many options. We did options because we gotta have them laying in front of you guys, because if we have to raise taxes or something like that, y'all need numbers. We can't just come in here and give you one number. So all of these Facebook posts and stuff, no one ever called us to ask us why we did this, but this is why. Because we have to have this in front of us when we have to raise taxes, give you taxes, something like that. We can't just come in here and say, well, this is what we're giving you guys. Take it or leave it.
So I think, going forward, after we get through this, and I know we better talk with the schools about schools at some point. I think we need to get together some kind of 5-year plan to kind of prepare ourselves for all the future capital projects and issues that's going to come, heading their way because we're not prepared for it. So those are our options unless somebody's got something.
I got something sort of off the subject, but on the subject. Samantha mentioned the Facebook. Where in the world people get this stuff put on Facebook? All that was an auction, and some people done knew how we was gonna vote and what the vote count was.
Some of y'all thought we wasn't gonna have an ambulance service at all.
Educate yourself before you get on that dang keyboard. I know some people can't help it. It's just in their blood. But if Polk County News comes out every week, it's pretty simple to read, and you'll know this stuff. I seen more stuff on Facebook about this
I thought you didn't
ambulance.
have Facebook.
I got screenshots.
You have an awful lot about it to not
I
have
tend
it,
to just stay off those pages because.
Yeah, but where do these people, it'd be different if we didn't have 2 good papers in the county website, and if people, I swear they want to start trouble instead of doing the right thing, but if they will take 10 minutes to educate themselves and read a story, and then get on Facebook. But I just can't believe some stuff people put on Facebook sometimes. It blows my mind.
Yeah, and something else I want to say, we had a meeting with one from America up here at the Benton City Hall. From America. He gave us a good detail of why the increase in cost was. He answered all our questions, because the workers, they want more money. Instead of me buys, they want more money. They gave us a good explanation, and that's when we first said, wow.
And they gotta have more money, or they're gonna go somewhere else that does pay more money.
Right. Well, you think about it, every year, everything goes up. I very rarely have seen a contract go down, so I think just going forward, we need to keep that in mind when we're budgeting.
I'll make a motion to accept option 1 with America.
Second.
Any other discussion?
It's higher.
But it ain't so much higher we can pull off.
What I've seen is that Christie provided some of this information, the difference in what the advanced EMT and paramedic can do is substantial. And I think it's going to end up being what's better for our citizens.
I just want to add, we're really sorry that you guys thought that we were going to make you do it out, but we just had to have options.
Kind of prepare for the worst and hope you never have to use it, but if you've ever had to call.
We just wanted you to have numbers in front of you.
Fair enough, if I may. What about the rafting businesses? Do they pay enough for all the accidents that happen on the rivers?
we prorate that, we do a list every year of all the calls directly related with rafting issues, and they reimburse us based on numbers of calls.
There's a lot of new homes coming up. That have been joining up in Polk County and living like people will. That should help also with the extra taxes.
Well, I've been looking at adequate facilities.
Our growth money is not keeping up with our need for more infrastructure from the new housing. I mean, we're glad to have everybody, but, you know, it's more than just the ambulance service. Every 20 kids, school teachers, teachers aid. Every 60 kids, 3 school teachers, 3 teachers aid, bus driver, and $150,000 budget. And new property taxes are not keeping up with our demand for increased services. And, you know, it's a struggle. I mean, we see it. Our sheriff's department's understaffed, our dumps are running over, our ambulance service is understaffed. I mean, we are stretched. And it's not the supply is that distance, the services, the demand. I mean, like, the supply is that distance from what we can offer for the turn we're getting on the and it's,
I'm sick.
you gotta look at the schools. You know, I've heard several teachers not griping, but just mentioning, our money just don't go nowhere. All we spend on extra. And the state requires, 20, 25 kids per class, room limit. They require teachers, whether the kids ride the bus or not. Every 60 kids enroll in school, that's another school bus. I mean, it's very expensive. But yes, the outfitters do. We got a formula, or you explain that, Ryan?
Outfitters pay 18 cents a head on their commercial asking customer goods down the middle.
And they base that off ambulance calls, fire and rescue calls directly associated with that.
And the prior year's numbers that come in from the rafters, correct?
And that comes from the state side of the OR board that Ryan and I are both on. I think Ryan's fixing to come on, but that's where that comes from. And that comes back through on that side.
But that was a good question.
Can I ask something? If we're talking about maybe property tax, wouldn't a SPLOST or even a sales tax be a lot better? Because what you're going to do is, in this economy and everything, you're going to tax people on fixed incomes. You're going to tax them out of their home.
So the
Like
county,
I do anymore
so
on sales tax.
the
We
county
think
doesn't
we're
get sales
we're
tax
maxed out now.
directly. That goes to the school system.
We was at 9.5,
Yeah.
and it passed on referendum to go from 9.5 to 9 3/4. And that extra 1/4% went into designated funds for new school construction only. Couldn't be used for nothing else.
Right.
Not to work on the school, but it's just in escrow now, building and building. And you'd be surprised what a 1/4% increase generates a year too. It surprised me.
But all this stuff
Not
is
enough.
double. Food double.
Oh, absolutely.
All this stuff double. These people that draw a monthly check, it don't double.
Right.
So what's that mean? They're going down, right? You raise the taxes up there, they can't pay the taxes. They lose their place, right?
Well, you can check our history. We do a lot with a little. We don't raise taxes. I ain't gonna say we won't have to one of these days or do a wheel tax someday in the future, but no time soon.
Well, I mean, and that goes back on the wheel tax, though. Just like the economy is so bad, it would be hard pressed for anybody to vote themselves a new bill to pay. To be taxed, so.
But everybody's got to take into consideration that a wheel tax, and I ain't for it, but I'm telling you right now, I'm sick and tired. I pay $11,000 to $12,000 a year in property tax.
Yeah.
I can pay mine. It ain't fun, but I can pay it. But these people that's drawing $1,000 a month, that's worth 50 years for that little house on that lot. And they've got to keep paying and paying for all the people that live here that don't pay nothing. I've got 15 people on my farm that don't pay Polk County a friggin' dime. unless they do buy something and pay their sales tax.
Right.
And they're at that garbage dump every freaking day, and they're calling the jail, and they're calling ambulances,
Kids in school.
and they're not paying nothing.
Yeah.
So that, we can't keep that up. It ain't fair to grandma and grandpa. And and then you've got all these people with property, with a little bit of property. And then, and I'm not knocking it. It's fine for kids to come in, set up a mobile home. Campers are the big thing now on that property. And they've got 5 or 6 kids that's going to school. They're generating trash. And basically, grandma and grandpa is paying that bill. I mean, that's the part we cannot keep up. And that's why I will never vote for another property tax.
Well, I
And me,
would say
myself, and I.
about this commission, or anywhere anybody goes anymore, all of us, all y'all, we get gas. I don't care if it's drugstore, grocery store, out to eat, feed store, dog, any tractor supply, but this commission is only people that ain't get the Polk County residents up for more money. Everybody's paying it everywhere they go, and unless your reappraisal was just so high above the average last time, we've not seen on the taxpayer yet, and everybody gets asked for everything. Yeah, that was a state, done.
And then they're talking about doing this on.
It's unfairness.
Games that,
Yeah. But we're the last person that's ever handheld that for more money, I'm wrong.
But would the costs work to pay for the difference in the?
We can't do another local option. Sales tax, we're at the state max now. We maxed it out at 9 3/4, but it passed on referendum, or it wasn't us. The voters done.
I don't think Tennessee has a squash.
Well, that stands for special local option sales tax. It's kind of what we done, they just call it something else in Tennessee. We maxed that one. Georgia does a bunch of them.
Yeah, they do squash.
My fault. That we have to have at some point in time.
That's like a work session.
Well, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion on the ordinance, please? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, my name's Keith Word. I do work for AMR, but I am also a Polk County resident. And before you decide on what you're doing based on pennies, I think you need to look farther back into that contract and see what your residents, these patients, are going to be charged. There is a huge difference. And it's right there in y'all's bids. You've seen it. I'm not going to spill out the dollar pennies because I have to leave for a 911 call in McMinn County right now. But everyone needs to look at it. There is a huge difference on it, and I do have it right here in front of me on if you want me to go into the details to familiarize the commissioners with it.
You're talking about the difference between the Ameripro and
AmeriPro and what AMR will charge the patients. Not all of it. No, it's not on insurance base.
We can't afford AMR.
I'm not asking you to prove it. I'm just telling you what you're doing to the citizens on what they're paying because you don't want to pay. So that's all I'm going to say with it. It's in black and white on here. The summary is a $1,900 difference on what we charge the citizens of Polk County versus what AmeriPro will charge the citizens of the county.
So you work for AMR?
I do, but I am a citizen. I live right off Thomas Road. So I'll excuse myself. Good luck with how you guys handle this. And I'm going to work.
Excuse me, I'm with AmeriPro. I just wanted to mention that the prices that he's mentioning are usual and customary prices that we were required to put in here, but less than 2% of our payments actually go to usual and customary. Almost all of you have insurance. It's covered by insurance, either Medicare or Medicaid. All those, we're required to take those rates, which are much less than these rates.
So-
This is just a simple usual and customary.
So if someone didn't have insurance, then would you guys work something out with them if they couldn't pay the however much
We
it ended up
have
being?
programs for indigent, yes. And most people that can't afford insurance
They have
would have Medicaid, and,
Medicaid take care of
Medicaid is like $100 compared to thousands.
There's a significant amount, $2,000. Their mileage for AmeriPro is $41 a mile, and AMR's is $15.27. That's a huge difference in mileage. And
Well, when you charge to Medicare, whatever they pay, is that all you can get?
Exactly.
Okay.
And they
So
can't-
that's
they can't-
not going to fall, that's not going to hurt the Medicare patients.
But the private insurance.
Yeah, the private insurance, I know, because I know I've had to pay, I think like $500. I've had to have an ambulance twice in the past 7 or 8 years. And I think my bill was $500 over what my insurance paid. Of course, I paid it because I could, but I know there's people that can't. But I know that lots of times that gets rubbed off too. So,
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Kenny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Pippinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent.
Yes.
Before you adjourn, we need to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got one more thing here. It's not on the agenda, it's a request for reimbursement for travel. Like I said, it's not on the agenda. My thought is this needs to be put on next month's agenda, but if somebody wants to make a motion to suspend the rules, we'll go from there.
Say next month's agenda.
Well, we've got another thing that we were supposed to have on here, and I think I let it drop. We met with the state planner on the resolution that the county has not adopted dealing with the roads. I didn't put it on the agenda, I thought I did last month, but I don't think I did.
So can we just put both those items for next month? 'Cause I'll have my stuff too for next month. I'll let you know.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Okay, announcements,
What was,
statements?
yeah, what was that one you said, John?
It was the planning board, the resolution.
That guy came last month.
from the,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about the roads.
Planning board and state planner. It
Announcements,
was
statements?
from last year, but we never addressed it.
Announcements and statements.
Any commissioners have anything? Do you have anything?
Don't forget, some of the different things going on around the county. We got the trunk or treat coming up in the courthouse, so be sure to get part of that. Also, that same day, Showboat, I said twice, I'm sorry, Showboat. We have Heritage Day at the courthouse that same day, so do remember that. And I've had a lot of questions as far as the angel tree. I'm looking for somewhere on the east side of the county to be able to put an angel tree at a central location. Our angel tree here at the courthouse will go up this weekend, and what that is, in case you don't know, this goes to the kids within Polk County. It's an organization that did come to me. I just helped. That's it. This goes to the kids in Polk County. If you want to give a donation, we are now a 501c3. What we do, some people have asked, so what we do is we have money left over. Kind of hard to get stuff for the high school kids. So we do use monies left over to purchase yearbooks. Because what kid would not like to be included on yearbook that side? So if you want to talk to me a little more about that, there is a raffle going on. I'll talk to you outside of that, but do remember that when you see those angels up, just in case you're wondering, it goes to the kids in Polk County, not any other county. It goes to the east, it goes to the west. We're going to have a wrapping party this year. One of the reasons why we had a lady that's very near and dear to me, but she lost her husband this past year. I had done her husband's funeral. And she talked about how sad it was that she didn't have people around her as she was wrapping gifts. So it's all part of the community. Come out and be a part. We'd love to have each and every one help out with the kids. Well, it's American Day, I think 26, we will be having bags and stuff for the children so that they can take those Halloween bags home to the fall of the trunk or treat at the show barn. Ms. Rogers is over that. You're over that this year, correct, John? And when I hear y'all will have a great event, we hope to do so.
Bring all the kiddos out.
Oh, and one other real quick thing. early vote has started. If you've not been at the election commission office, it smells a whole lot better. Our newly hired maintenance man, I think we've had 2 or 3 different ones over the year, but we were finally able to figure out where the obnoxious smell was coming from. He also done a little bit of lighting and things like that, so I know a lot of people has asked. That's a work in progress. Danny and Keith were both in on those interviews. Ben Branham is our first and only maintenance man, but it's really worked. And I'd also like to give a attaboy. I'd really like to thank the volunteer fire department at the Copper Basin Fire Department. 2 weeks ago, we had to move everything out. Bo Swafford, myself, I'd like to thank James Jones for all those that he sent out to help. Darren's already gone. Darren was one that came to help. The school department, they sent their maintenance men, me and Bo and Ben, there's a bunch of us anyhow. We hauled 14-foot trailer loads of trash out from the community center. There were some items, and that's part of the surplus, because there were items that were damaged and things like that. I just don't want somebody to say, Robbie threw something away of value. There was a bunch of trash. We filled a 30-yard open top at the community center until it got full, and we started having to take everything to the Grassy Creek dump. But the volunteer fire department pitched in as well, the health department, and I'd like to be sure that they get that recognition and a real honest, sincere thank you, because those are the ones that really helped in those departments. So it's amazing what we'll do when we all work together. That's all I have.
Is there any public comments?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Yes, sir.